Ethan sat under the white lights of the underground lab, unable to blink, unable to turn his head, unable to feel the simple freedom of moving his own face. The room smelled of metal and cold air, and machines hummed softly around him. Thin silver lines spread across his skin like frozen lightning, wrapping his cheeks, his jaw, his temples, locking every muscle in place. He could still breathe, slowly and carefully. He could still think, clearly and painfully. But his face no longer belonged to him. The scientists called it a breakthrough at first. They had found the alien device inside a crashed ship buried deep under ice. It was small, smooth, and silent, like it was waiting. No buttons, no screen, no markings. Just a dark surface that reflected whoever looked into it. Ethan had been chosen because he was calm under pressure. He was a systems engineer, not a soldier, not a hero, just a man who believed problems could be solved with patience. When the device reacted to his touch, the room filled with excitement instead of fear. Then everything went wrong. The tech leapt onto his face like it was alive. Metal flowed faster than thought, wrapping, locking, sealing. Ethan screamed, but the sound died halfway out of his throat. By the time the alarm started, his face was already trapped. Now, months later, the excitement was gone. Only worry remained. Doctors spoke in quiet voices behind glass walls. They ran scans, sent data, argued softly. The tech showed no power source, no access point, no weakness. It was not glued or fused. It was bonded. Ethan tried to move his lips. Nothing. He tried to smile. Nothing. Only his eyes still worked, and even they felt heavy, like they were not fully his anymore. A young technician stood near the door, staring at him longer than the others. Her hands shook as she held her tablet. She looked away quickly when their eyes met. Ethan wanted to tell her it was okay. He wanted to say he understood. But all that came out was a faint whisper, barely louder than air. "I'll be like this forever." The words shocked even him. Once spoken, they felt real, heavy, permanent. That night, the lab lights dimmed. One by one, the scientists left. The guards changed shifts. And Ethan was alone with the machines. Time moved strangely when you could not move. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like days. Ethan focused on his breathing. In and out, slow and steady. He remembered his father teaching him not to panic when things felt out of control. Panic wastes energy, his father used to say. So Ethan did not panic. He listened. He observed. The tech on his face was not silent. It pulsed softly, like a sleeping animal. Sometimes it warmed slightly when he felt strong emotion. Other times it felt cold, distant, watching. He wondered if it was learning him, or if it was waiting for something else. On a small screen across the room, a recorded message looped endlessly. It was a warning meant for staff, not for him. Subject remains stable. No removal protocol exists. Stable. The word made Ethan want to laugh. Days later, a senior scientist finally spoke the truth out loud, standing behind the glass, arms crossed, eyes tired. "We can't fix this," he said. "Not with human technology." Those words changed everything. Visits became shorter, then less frequent. Eventually, they stopped altogether. Ethan was no longer a patient. He was a problem with no solution. Still, his mind stayed sharp. He replayed every moment of the accident. Every sound, every flash of light, every mistake. If the tech could trap him, then it followed rules, even alien ones. Rules could be learned. If you are enjoying the story so far and want to hear how Ethan survives what comes next, gently consider subscribing to this channel so you don't miss the rest of his journey. Late one night, as the lab fell into deep silence, something changed. The tech on Ethan's face pulsed brighter than ever before. Not violently, not randomly. Purposefully. Ethan felt it clearly. For the first time since the accident, he was not alone anymore. And somewhere in the dark, something was coming for him. The lights in the lab did not turn on the next morning. Ethan noticed it right away. The steady white glow that once filled the room stayed dark, leaving only emergency strips along the floor. At first, he thought it was a mistake. A power test, maybe. But minutes passed, then hours, and nothing changed. No footsteps. No voices. No soft arguing behind the glass walls. Only the machine stayed alive, humming like they always did, keeping his body fed, warmed, and monitored, keeping him alive, but not living. Ethan listened carefully. He had learned to measure time by sound, the slow drip of coolant, the distant vibration of generators far above. This silence was different. This silence meant something had ended. Days passed, or maybe weeks. He was no longer sure. Food came through automated systems. No hands, no faces, no eye contact. Just tubes and mechanical arms that treated him like cargo. The tech on his face reacted to the darkness. Its soft pulses grew slower, deeper, almost thoughtful. Ethan wondered if it missed the attention, or if it was pleased to be left alone with him. At some point, the glass wall in front of him became a mirror, without bright lights behind it. He could see his reflection clearly for the first time. The silver lines across his face looked older now, heavier. They no longer seemed like an accident. They looked intentional. His eyes stared back at him, still human, still afraid, still stubborn. "I'm still here," he whispered, testing his voice. The words barely existed, but the tech warmed slightly, as if it heard him. That scared him more than silence ever could. One day, the machine skipped a cycle. Just once. Food arrived late. Not a malfunction. A delay. Ethan understood the message without anyone saying it. He was no longer a priority. Somewhere far above, meetings were happening. Files were being closed. Budgets were being moved. The experiment had failed, and failures were buried. The next time the doors opened, it was not for him. 2 guards entered the lab, not wearing white coats. They spoke openly, assuming he could not hear or care. "They're shutting this wing down," one said. "Too risky," the other replied. "No point keeping him here." Him. Not Ethan. Not man. The doors closed again, and this time, they locked with a final sound Ethan had never heard before. A permanent lock. Fear pressed against his chest, slow and heavy. Not panic. Not yet. Panic still wasted energy. The tech pulsed faster now, responding to his rising fear. Tiny vibrations crawled across his skin, like fingers tapping from the inside. Ethan focused, controlled his breathing. He forced his thoughts into order. If the tech responded to emotion, then emotion was a key, and keys could open things. That night, the power dropped without warning. Not fully, just enough. Emergency lights flickered. Machines stuttered. For the first time since the accident, the hum around him felt uncertain. Then the whispers started. Not voices, not words. More like pressure inside his head. Images flashed behind his eyes. Strange shapes, tall structures, stars burning too close together. None of it made sense, but all of it felt real. Ethan did not scream. He endured. He realized something important in that moment. The tech was not just attached to him. It was connected. To what? He did not know yet. A loud crack echoed through the lab. Metal bending somewhere deep in the facility. Not an explosion. An entry. Ethan's heart raced. The tech flared bright silver, casting sharp shadows on the walls. Someone was inside the building. Someone who was not supposed to be there. Footsteps approached slowly, uneven, heavy. Not human steps. Too deliberate, too controlled. A shadow moved at the far end of the lab, tall and thin. It paused, as if sensing him, as if sensing the tech. For the first time since being abandoned, Ethan felt something close to hope. Not because he trusted what was coming, but because anything was better than being forgotten. The shadow stepped closer, and Ethan understood one terrifying truth. Whatever had found him was not human, and it had been looking for him for a very long time. The shadow stopped at the edge of the emergency light. Ethan could see its shape clearly now. Tall, thinner than any human, its body bent slightly forward like it carried an old pain. The air in the lab felt heavier. The machines hummed lower, as if afraid to be heard. The silver tech on Ethan's face glowed brighter, reacting before his mind could fully understand what he was seeing. The figure stepped forward, slowly. Its skin was dark and uneven, like stone worn smooth by time. Long arms ended in hands with too many joints, fingers folding in careful patterns. Its eyes locked onto Ethan, not with hunger, not with anger, but with shock. It froze, staring at Ethan's face, at the living metal fused to human skin. "No," the alien whispered, its voice rough, broken, like it had not been used in a long time. "No human should wear that." Ethan tried to speak. Only a breath escaped his lips. The alien noticed immediately, stepping closer, ignoring the machines, the cables, the warning signs. "You are alive," the alien said, disbelief clear in its tone. Still thinking. It reached out, then stopped, its hand trembling inches from Ethan's face. Fear crossed its features, not fear of Ethan, fear of the tech. "That device is not armor," the alien said softly. "It is a prison." The words settled into Ethan's mind like cold water. A prison. Not protection. Not enhancement. The alien moved away quickly, pacing the room, limping slightly with each step. "I was punished for speaking against it," the alien said, almost to itself. "My people used it to control minds, to erase will." Ethan's eyes widened. The tech pulsed hard, almost angry. The alien stopped pacing and looked directly at him again. "My name no longer matters," it said. "I am exiled, hunted by my own kind." It leaned against a console, breathing heavily. Dark fluid leaked from a wound along its side. Only then did Ethan realize how weak it looked, how close to collapse. "Why help me?" Ethan whispered, the effort burning his throat. The alien turned sharply, surprised by the sound. "Because you are still you," it said. "That should not be possible." The tech reacted again, flashing sharp lines of light across the walls. The alien flinched, raising its hands. "Easy," it said, voice calm but tense. "It listens." Ethan understood then. The tech was not just on his face. It was aware. The alien approached again, slower this time. "I helped design its early form," it said, "before it was twisted into a weapon." It knelt beside Ethan, meeting his eyes. "If it fully completes its bond, you will not die. But you will not be free." The words felt worse than death. Ethan focused, forcing his fear down. "If you can remove it," he whispered, "do it." The alien shook its head slowly. "Removal is not simple," it said. "It resists loss." The tech pulsed violently, as if offended. A sharp pain shot through Ethan's head, memories not his own flashing through his mind. Crowded cities under alien skies. Faces screaming in silence. Ethan groaned softly. The alien stepped back, fear clear now. "It is already deep inside you," it said. "Deeper than I feared." Alarms suddenly flared on distant panels. Not human alarms. Alien signals responding to the tech's activation. "They will feel this," the alien said urgently. "My people." The alien made a decision then, straightening despite its injury. "I can try to free you," it said, "but it will hurt." "How much?" Ethan whispered. The alien met his gaze, unblinking. "Enough that most species would beg to die." The tech flared brighter than ever, fighting, resisting. Ethan felt its grip tighten. Still, he did not look away. "Do it," he whispered again. The alien placed its hand gently against the side of Ethan's head, careful not to touch the tech directly. "For what it is worth," it said quietly, "your kind was never meant to survive this." The machine screamed. The lights flickered wildly. And somewhere deep inside Ethan's mind, something ancient and furious woke up. The alien's hand hovered close to Ethan's head, never touching the silver lines directly. The tech reacted at once, light racing across Ethan's face like trapped lightning. The machines around them screamed louder, as if warning them to stop. "Stay awake," the alien said, its voice sharp now focused. "If you lose yourself, it will take everything." Pain arrived without warning, not like fire, not like cutting, but like pressure inside his thoughts, squeezing tighter with every breath. Ethan's body tried to fight it. His heart raced, his muscles tensed, but his face stayed frozen, a mask of metal and fear. Images flooded his mind, alien worlds burning under strange skies, crowds standing still, eyes empty, faces locked just like his. He felt their silence, their surrender. The tech was showing him what it did to others, what it was designed to do. Ethan wanted to scream. He wanted to beg the alien to stop, but his voice was trapped behind metal and will. So he held on. The alien moved its hand slowly, drawing invisible patterns in the air. Old knowledge, forbidden knowledge. The tech resisted, pulsing harder, brighter. "No," the alien growled, strain clear in its voice. "You do not own him." The words hit Ethan harder than the pain. Someone was defending him, calling him his own person. The pressure increased. Ethan felt something pulling at his thoughts, digging deep, trying to erase fear, memory, identity. This was how it worked. This was how it won. Ethan focused on one thing, a simple memory, standing in the rain as a child, laughing for no reason at all. The tech pushed back. The pain sharpened. His vision blurred. The alien staggered, almost falling. Dark fluid dripped from its wound onto the floor. Still, it did not stop. "You are stronger than it expects," the alien said through clenched teeth. It was built to break minds, not resist them. The tech screamed without sound. A violent surge rippled through Ethan's nervous system. Every nerve burned at once. For a moment, Ethan felt himself slipping, fading, becoming quiet inside. That was when he understood the trap. The tech did not win by force. It won by making surrender feel peaceful. "No," Ethan whispered, the word barely real. But it mattered. The tech hesitated, just for a breath. The alien reacted instantly, pressing its hand closer. Lights shattered across the room, panels exploding, cables snapping. Something tore free inside Ethan. Not the tech. Not yet. But its control. He gasped, a real sound this time. Pain still ruled his body, but his thoughts were his own again. The alien cried out, collapsing to one knee. "I cannot remove it fully," it said, exhausted. "It is too deep." The tech dimmed slightly, no longer blazing. Its grip loosened, just enough for Ethan to feel it. Feel where it ended, and he began. The pain changed then. Less crushing, more sharp. Like something being pulled out of a place it did not want to leave. Ethan focused again. On his breath. On his name. On the simple truth that he was human. The tech fought one last time, sending a violent shock through his spine. The world went white. When the light faded, the lab was wrecked. Smoke drifted through the air. Machines lay silent, broken. Ethan was still breathing, still thinking, still himself. The alien lay nearby, barely conscious. The silver lines on Ethan's face no longer glowed as bright. They felt different now. Quieter. "It is not gone," the alien whispered weakly. "But it no longer owns you." Ethan tried to move his lips. Just a little. Pain flared, but something shifted. For the first time since the accident, his mouth trembled. Not free, but no longer fully trapped. Outside the lab, distant alarms began to sound. New ones, older ones. Signals meant for the stars. The alien's eyes widened in fear. "They felt that," it said. "They are coming." Ethan stared at the dark ceiling, heart pounding. He was not free. Not yet. But he was no longer helpless. And somewhere far beyond Earth, something powerful had just noticed a human who refused to break. The alarms outside the lab grew louder, layered sounds overlapping each other. Some were human, sharp and urgent. Others were deeper, older, vibrating through the walls in a way no Earth system ever should. Ethan felt the tech respond before he fully understood the danger. The silver lines on his face warmed, not burning, not resisting, listening. The alien pushed itself upright, shaking with effort. "We must leave," it said, struggling to breathe. "They will not come to talk." Ethan tried to nod. The movement barely happened, but it was real. Pain shot through his jaw, yet he welcomed it. Pain meant connection. Connection meant control. The alien stared at him, eyes narrow with disbelief. "You should not be conscious," it said. "No human should be able to stand after that." Ethan focused, not on fear, not on the alarms, but on a simple thought. "Move." His fingers twitched. Slow, stiff, but obeying him. The alien froze, watching closely. "That device," the alien said carefully. "It is no longer only controlling you." Ethan pushed harder. His arm lifted from the chair, shaking violently. The restraint snapped with a dull crack. The tech pulsed, not fighting, adapting. The alien stepped back, stunned. My people believed only our minds were strong enough, it said. They were wrong. Footsteps echoed in the corridor outside. Human voices shouted orders. Weapons powered up. The alien looked toward the door, fear clear in its posture. They will kill me on sight, it said. And they will take you. Ethan forced his legs to move, collapsing once, then pushing up again. Every movement hurt, but the pain felt distant, manageable. No, Ethan whispered, louder than before. The word surprised them both. The tech flared gently, like encouragement, not dominance. The alien tilted its head, studying him. You would protect me, it said slowly, after what my kind did. Ethan met its gaze. You helped me, he whispered. That's enough. The alien was silent for a long moment. Then it nodded, a small, respectful motion. They moved together through a side exit. Emergency lights guided their path. Smoke filled the air, hiding them from cameras and sensors. As they passed a control panel, the tech reacted again. Ethan felt information brush his thoughts. Door schematics, power routes, blind spots. He did not see the data. He understood it. The alien stopped walking, staring at him in open shock. You are interfacing, it said, without training. Ethan did not know how to explain it. He only knew what felt right and what felt wrong. He led them through the maze of corridors, avoiding patrols, by instinct alone. Each step made the tech quieter, more cooperative. They reached the surface tunnel, just as something massive passed overhead. The ground vibrated. The sky above the hatch glowed faintly purple. The alien's face darkened. A scout vessel, it said. They are confirming your signal. Ethan felt it too. A pull, distant but insistent, like a call meant for something else. They are afraid, the alien added, voice low. Not of me. Of you. Ethan laughed softly, the sound rough, but real. That doesn't make sense. It does, the alien replied. My people spent ages perfecting control. Humans survived chaos. They escaped into the night as human forces flooded the facility behind them. Searchlights cut through the dark. Sirens wailed across the landscape. Hidden among rocks and broken ground, the alien finally collapsed, exhaustion taking what strength it had left. Ethan knelt beside it, steady now despite the pain. The tech adjusted again, easing his breathing, stabilizing his balance. The alien looked up at him, eyes filled with something close to awe. You are not what the galaxy expects, it said. You bend what was meant to break you. Above them, stars shifted as more ships arrived, silent and watching. Ethan felt their attention like weight on his skin. He was no longer just a human experiment. He was a signal, and the galaxy had started to listen. The night sky no longer looked empty. Ethan could feel the ships before he clearly saw them. Silent shapes sliding between the stars, watching, measuring, waiting. The tech on his face hummed softly, not loud, not urgent. Aware. Alert. The alien pushed itself up on one arm, struggling to stay conscious. They will not attack yet, it said, voice weak. They want to understand you first. Ethan stared upward. Understanding felt like the wrong word. A beam of pale light touched the ground a short distance away. Not hot, not blinding. Controlled. The air vibrated as a shape formed inside the light. Tall figures emerged, their bodies wrapped in dark armor that bent like liquid, their faces hidden behind smooth masks. The alien stiffened in fear. They found me, it whispered. Ethan stepped forward without thinking. The tech responded instantly, sending calm through his body. Not orders. Support. One of the armored beings raised a hand. The light around them dimmed slightly. We have come for the bonded human, the figure said, its voice echoing in a strange layered way. You will not resist. Ethan felt the words press against his thoughts. A mental weight, testing his will. The tech trembled, reacting. He focused, grounded himself in something simple. The feeling of dirt beneath his feet. The sound of his own breath. No, he said, the word rough but firm. The pressure eased. The armored figures paused. That should not be possible, one of them said. Human minds do not resist us. The alien stared at Ethan in disbelief. "They are trying to command you," it said softly. "And you are standing." The tallest figure stepped closer. "You are dangerous," it said. Not because of the device, but because it failed. Ethan felt anger rise. Not sharp, not wild, controlled. "You trap people with that thing," he said quietly. "You don't get to decide what I am." The tech pulsed once, strong and steady. The ground beneath them cracked slightly, reacting to the energy shift. The figures moved back, cautious now. "We will offer you a choice," the leader said. "Join us. Learn what you are becoming." The alien let out a weak sound, half fear, half disbelief. "They never offer choices," it whispered. Ethan looked at the alien, bleeding, hunted, still alive. Then back at the figures. "What happens to him?" Ethan asked, nodding toward the alien. The silence that followed was answer enough. "He stays," Ethan said, his voice stronger now. "Or I walk." The tech reacted sharply, sending a pulse into the air. The ships above shifted position, defensive systems waking. The figures exchanged silent signals. "This human has corrupted the device," one said. "He is unstable." "Or evolved," another replied, uncertain. The leader faced Ethan again. "You do not understand what you are refusing," it said. "We shaped the galaxy." Ethan shook his head slowly. "You control it," he said. "There's a difference." For a long moment, nothing moved. Then the leader lowered its hand. "We will not take you," it said. "Not today." The beam of light faded. The figures dissolved back into the night. The ships above pulled farther away. Not gone, just watching from a distance. The alien collapsed fully then, strength finally gone. Ethan caught it before it hit the ground. "They will return," the alien whispered. "And next time, they will not be unsure." Ethan looked up at the stars again, feeling their attention still locked on him. Let them watch. He was no longer afraid. The galaxy had knocked on his door, and for the first time in its long history, a human had answered without bowing. The sky slowly returned to normal, stars settling back into quiet patterns. The alien ships did not leave completely, but they no longer pressed close. They watched from far away, cautious now. Ethan sat on the cold ground, holding the exiled alien as its breathing grew shallow. The tech on his face felt different again, not active, not silent, balanced. "You should go," the alien whispered, its voice weak, but clear. "They will come again." Ethan shook his head slowly. "Not without answers," he said. The alien gave a tired sound that might have been a laugh. "You are not like them," it said. "You are not like us either." Dawn crept over the horizon, pale light washing over broken ground and distant mountains. Human aircraft roared far away, searching, scanning, afraid of what they did not understand. Ethan stood with effort, stronger now than hours before. Each movement still hurt, but the pain no longer ruled him. The tech adjusted quietly, helping instead of forcing. The alien watched him with open wonder. "My people believed control was strength," it said, "but you showed me something else." "What?" Ethan asked softly. "Choice," the alien replied. Ethan helped the alien sit up, supporting its weight. The tech sent gentle warmth through his body, stabilizing both of them. Not as a master, not as a prison, as a tool. The alien looked at Ethan's face closely, studying the silver lines that would never fully disappear. "It will never leave you," it said, "but it will never own you again." Ethan accepted that truth without fear. He had already lost the man he used to be. What remained was stronger, clearer. A low hum echoed in the sky. One final signal from the distant ships. A warning, or maybe respect. "They are afraid of what you might become," the alien said. "That should tell you everything." Ethan looked toward the stars, calm settling deep inside him. "I don't want power," he said. "I want freedom." The tech pulsed once, softly, like agreement. Human forces finally arrived hours later, cautious and nervous. Weapons lowered when they saw Ethan standing, alive, unbroken. No commands worked on him. No fear moved him. The alien was taken quietly, not as a prisoner, but as a guest. Because Ethan demanded it, and because no one dared refuse him. In the weeks that followed, the truth spread slowly, carefully. Not all at once. Not loudly. A human had survived alien control. Not by strength of body, but by strength of mind. Ethan never became a leader. Never asked for authority. He disappeared from headlines as quickly as he appeared. But across the galaxy, something had changed. Alien empires rewrote their plans. Control systems were abandoned. Old certainties cracked. Because if one human could resist, others might follow. Ethan stood alone one night, watching the stars from a quiet place. The tech on his face cool and still. No longer whispering. No longer waiting. He had once believed he would be trapped forever. That his life had ended under white lab lights. He had been wrong. He was not trapped. He was transformed. Forever changed. Never broken.